Hello everybody, welcome to the MCN for Monday, a collection of very important news and information for the community. We're going to be first of all going over release notes, some things that you might have missed, some changes to champions that you love or whatever you like. Anyway, we're going to be talking about the Trello Board being updated and some bug fixes upcoming, as well as promo codes that Kabam sort of gave the hints we should be receiving in the November live stream. We'll talk about that. Let's get into the show. So a bit of a reminder to everybody that as well as Black Panther Civil War having his buff in today, we're also going to see a Spider-Punk improvement. So the potency of Spider-Punk's physical vulnerability debuffs increased from 25% to 40%, and the duration of Spider-Punk's physical vulnerability debuffs increased from 15 seconds to 18 seconds. This is a change to that particular champion, as well as the Black Panther buff. There's also other things as well. I read here that there's a fix of an issue of Juggernaut's signature ability Nullify, ignoring glancing and other ability accuracy reductions. This could be a problem, but probably isn't, because Juggernaut is still an absolute freight train, and whether or not you rotate in a certain way, I like doing an SP1, building up to 10 of the Unstoppables and smashing with an SP2. That's what I like, and he nukes anything in Battlegrounds, so but whether or not you're going up against whatever champion, I'm sure it's not going to make much of a difference. One interesting takeaway is reading this. Updated the critical failure ability from Domino's signature ability to be classified as an energy damaging effect. As you know, when you go against Domino, if she's on defense, you're going to take some unavoidable damage. There's a real better terminology for it, but like unavoidable damage, you're going to just take it. It's just going to chip away. Now with that particular slight change, does that fall into a new category? And that is the energy resistance. As you know, energy resistance is something that can help against energy-based effects. Many champions have it. Galen has a energy resistance as part of his kit. A buff. Odin has can do a copied buff. I don't know what that means with that. But Moondragon and Sauron, as well as passives from the champions there, depending on who you're paired up with. A lot of Danny Moonstars and Moondragons within it. There's also other champions as well. I even think that there's something for Dr. Voodoo. I think he's in there as well. Dr. Voodoo can do something as well. And also, depending on different forms, you can have different takes on damage, energy damage resistance. And if that is indeed the case, could that be something that takes the champion away from being an annoying defender when you're like, I'll take my Guardian as a good counter against that particular. It may even be the case at the moment, maybe something I've personally been sleeping on as an interaction, but we'll have to see if that opens up a few more other things as well. Probably people will scream at me like, why aren't you using several other champions against Domino? I normally just opt for something that I quite like, tech, like a Mega Sentinel, but even more so nowadays with it. So yeah, if you're looking for a pair up, it might be better to use those champion options. There's also one other thing to mention, the Galen fix. A lot of people have called over the many months and year for Galen's Incinerate situation to be rectified. And we've got this month the fixed issue where Galen got a little too hungry and ended his harvest before applying all 9 Incinerates on his special 2. The extent of that ramp up was like, I can't remember if people were saying like it was 3 Incinerates it was only doing, or 6. Might have been 6. And we had that bug a long time ago, and at least and at least this month, today, we're going to see a fix to it, which is happy days. We're also going to see a fix to Medusa, ability to remove stun effects before auto-blocking with a signature ability. Helpful if you've got a heavily awakened and heavily signatured version of Medusa, and that's good news for Medusa lovers, and maybe good for defense aspects as well. There is the addition of the Wakandan tag, which I think is going to be incredibly relevant in the future. I'm going to make a separate video about some theories around new champions that could come into that, but it very much kind of expands our opportunity to see more Wakandan-based champions in the future, as well as a cheeky little new synergy, which could be a bit of a question mark for, again, some of these future champions coming to the game. The other thing to look out for today is the event screen update. Yes, there is, towards the later part of the month, the Super Daily event coming back, and we're going to be seeing seeing the 60 frames per second, and we're going to be testing that out later on the channel to just showcase, like, you know, does it look good? Is it great for fighting? Is it great for the future of MCOC? Is it something that's going to cause a lot of pressure to devices? Is it going to break the game? But the other thing that's quite good is the event screen being updated. So you're going to see an increased claim button size, which is good because it's kind of like, I literally have to take like my little finger to kind of like try and get the claim done. So it's not good. The update, the addition of an expiring soon state and improvements to notification badging, visual transitions and filtering. Good. Okay, that's going to be coming later on today. So hopefully we see some good improvements that are enjoyable for the community. Now I'll move on to the Trello board. The Trello board has been updated. Really good news. I'll put a link in the description if you do want to go and check it out. There's a few gameplay elements. Yes, there is no AI fix information that is being handled separately. Do we want that info? We want to find out what Kabam up to? Yes, we do, and that'll be something Kabam need to kind of like let us know. From a champion's perspective, which a lot of us interact with on a fight-by-fight basis, there's a few things that are being sorted, like attackers still able to display bullseye's guaranteed hits when getting hit by timing block inputs. Timing block inputs, there we go. It's good to see that being acknowledged. And then also, Silk's evade cooldown can activate without actually evading if the opponent attack misses due to effects like falter. There's more. North Star's reinforced triggering off a physical vulnerability as well as resistance. And we've got that Medusa isn't auto-blocking specials with oh, that's a new one. Spaced out hit events. Cleanse is removing other debuffs when severe debuff triggers, and there's more. Like, I'm not going to read off all of these, but there's quite a few ones there, some in development as well. A couple of Count Nefarias are being dealt with. Count Nefaria can evade special hits via mashing block button. Who knew? But there's a few others that are there, as well as some odds and ends around AW and AQ, some buy things when it comes to like matching. Alliances fail to match up, do not receive a buy, and that's going to be fixed in the next update, which is there. So it's good. There's a lot of kind of improvements that have been added. There's also a few more as well that I'm sure will be added to here. So that's great news. Bit of news or information or response that I want to bring to you is something from Kabam Crashed. It seems that over the weekend, some people were drinking some silly sauce and we're getting a little bit kind of like, I don't know. It's like, is it kind of like there's not much going on at the moment, you know, very little kind of like vitamin D's out there, so people just kind of like got their fighting hats on. They just want to get like under people's skin. Look, Kabam Crash responded back to a not question, but a kind of a tirade about the quality of the game in different areas, and yeah, it does need to improve. I think we've been living under a rock to kind of like with that, but we can't go like talking about every single week. You know, after a week of talking about constant AI, even I get bored of it, and I'm looking forward to new content this week, new side quests, new things to do, Saga incursions, Royal Hunt. There's some good things coming on, providing it works. But anyway, Kabam Crash responded back to a long, I don't know, not thread, but a long kind of post about, yeah, quality of the game, Kabam in general, communication, and other stuff like that. So he says, I'm not a member of the community team. My job isn't to manage the community. Years ago now, Mike and Jax asked me if I was willing to be a game team voice on the forums. I think I've developed the reputation for engaging openly and honestly with players. If you look at my post history, you'll find examples of providing information directly from the team, many examples of me debunking on cheaters who come here to plead their case, and a number of cases of me admitting game team mistakes and talking about how we're looking to fix them. That is true. Honestly, it's a breath of fresh air having Kabam Crashed in to answer against stuff like this. Give facts straight from the game team. You know, people might say, "Oh, you're just kind of like providing this information to the community." Yeah, I'm trying to spread like more awareness of stuff going on within the game. That's what we need. We need more awareness. Not everybody comes to the forums. Not Kabam Crash is not going to put exactly the same on the Discord. So trying to get as much information out as possible is key. But of course, we need to see the game functioning, as well as information can be get out about the quality, lack of quality, or whatever the game, it needs to be functioning. that open and honest communication is a two-way street. If we do something dumb and I comment about it, I try to admit it. At the same time, if players are wrong about something, it's fair game to call them out. In this case, the original post asked, why did they, Kabam, add a power gain node in Battlegrounds? And the answer is, we didn't. The players voted for it. So I poked a little fun at it. If you don't appreciate my sense of humor, that's fine. But understand Kabam employees aren't drones. If we are going to exist in this ecosystem together, we should be allowed to try and have some fun with it, like everybody else does. Yeah, I mean, at work, I think it was on Friday, like, sometimes, you know, you might make a mistake in a kind of a design or whatever you're doing, and I was like, as a joke, like, oh, I got like, you did a great job, Rich, you got everything perfect, it was 100%, and I said, oh good, Scooby snack for me. And that was a light-hearted, flippant remark that means nothing, is not actually funny, but is kind of like, it made me just kind of, oh, hee to myself. Like, and if you can't have those moments, then I guess you have to worry about the, I mean, like, nowadays everybody is offended or annoyed about anything, and sometimes don't even like fully research stuff, and we've definitely seen that nowadays. With it, but as long as Kabam Crash doesn't feel perturbed by this kind of stuff and actually kind of keeps going, the same way that, you know, someone said something about me on what was it, like Friday's, one of Friday's videos, and it just undermines like a lot of stuff that I've done and improved on this channel, because it has improved. I've improved a lot of things that I've worked very hard on, and I've got plans to work even harder on stuff in the new year. But that's the thing, isn't it? Can't please everybody nowadays. You really can't. Trying to please everyone on the internet. Pfft. However, though, there are times when Kabam do make mistakes, and this is one of them. So shout out to PXC Macaco. I probably butchered that name. Recently got copied into a thread. So this YouTuber reads the forums. Yeah, we try and gather as much research and information as possible, because that's typical Rich, who likes to be prepared for what I'm discussing. Anyway, now the guess was the promo code, and as you know, if you watched the live stream on Friday, you'll know there was no promo code. Effectively, the promo code was those 10 free 7-stars or free champions, depending on your progression of what you get. Well, here's the thing. PXO was very good at spotting that on the title for the live stream earlier on in the day, it was November content and champions, glorious reveals, / giveaways, and promo code. And at that point, you're probably going, there must be a promo code. I think even like somebody said, no, there was no promo code. There will be no promo code tomorrow. So I don't know when this person reacted to it. Now, again, there was no promo code that was revealed in that live stream. The funny thing is, if you go to the Kabam live stream there, this is live at the moment on there, you know, we try and do our research here and kind of like verify things, and there you go, it says there, glorious reveals, giveaways, and promo code and more. So it still gives the impression that there's one there, and I'm sure a Kabam employee might be able to change that or kind of like alter it, but there wasn't a promo code. However, though, Kabam would say there technically was, it's very different. So in that live stream, I think it was mentioned that the Purgatory November give out, which, as you know, under the giveaway section of free champions, they did mention that, they actually mentioned Purgatory, but they, I think, were messed up and they were meant to say Mojo. So, in theory, Kabam can say they did discuss a promo code. The fact is, they didn't actually give out a promo code, saying effectively, you know, this is your early bird supplies and your monthly promo code. So technically they did, but also technically they didn't, because it's promo codes, promo codes, what's it called? Yeah, it's promo codes, but not as we know it. Is that from Back to the Future? It might be. Anyway, what are your thoughts on some of the changes coming in the contest today? What are your thoughts about this promo code situation of no promo code? Do you really care? Do you not? Do you think that it was the early bird supply drop or a mistake by Kabam? How do you feel about the state of the game at the moment? Have your say in the comments. I appreciate you very much, those that support the channel, and I know you do. Sometimes there's those few that don't get it because they don't want to do their research. But we do! Bye!